Hey folks, so we go out, we put kayaks in the water, or we go out and fish, or we go out and do whatever. We hook these cameras up and we record everything. Well, I go on 4 and 5 hour fishing trips. You're changing batteries every 45 minutes to an hour. You're constantly changing batteries, and I get tired of it. So what I want to do is, at least for now, is I'm going to build me a little battery box and keep in the kayak. That way, as long as it's not raining, I can use my media mod. I can keep it plugged in and I don't have to keep changing batteries. So I'll show you what we're going to do here. Okay, here's our box. And we're going to build us a little charging station to go in the kayak. I went to Harbor Freight and I got this box. Went online, ordered a port for USB chargers. Went down to O'Reilly's and got a switch. I had this battery laying around. Came out of one of the toys the grandson used to ride on back when he was little. One of those little electric trucks. And he wore that thing out. He finally outgrew it. So the battery's just been sitting here for a couple of years. And just sitting around. So I went out the other day, it still had a charge on it. So I decided I was going to use it for this. We're going to take the USB port and we're going to mount it right here. We're going to drill this out. I believe I measured that to 1 1/8 inches. We're going to take the switch, which is 7/8 by 1 1/2 inches, and we're going to mount it right there. So we'll have our ports there, our switch there to turn it on and off with. And we're going to get started. Y'all give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to go drill this thing. And I'm going to get the hole cut out for the switch. And we're going to start getting it put together. And I'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, we got our hole cut out for our port. We got our hole cut out for our switch. We're going to go ahead and put the port in here. Let's go ahead and put the switch in first. I believe I got it cut out so it'll fit pretty good. It just pops in there like that. We're gonna get our port. We're gonna get our port in there. Put it through the hole. Just got a nut goes on the back. We can get it started. Get on there. There we go. Get her straight up and down. We're going to tighten that up. Alright, so now we got our switch and our port in here. We're gonna go ahead and put our battery in. And I had some old styrofoam lying around here. Cut a block of styrofoam. I'm gonna put that down here in the bottom on the end here. Well, I said I was going to. Made it 2 layers thick. Got a piece we're going to put right in there. Got a couple of little shims here. We're going to stick right in there, and that's going to hold that battery in place. And that battery ain't going nowhere. That's going to hold that battery nice and tight. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill 2 holes. One here, one here, one here. I'll hook these wires up to some bolts, and I'll hook wires from here to the switch. I'll hook the ground up to the port, and then I'll hook a wire from the switch to the port to turn it on with. The reason I'm going to put the bolts in here is because when this thing's closed up, I don't want to have to open it up, mess with it, and do all that stuff to charge it. So I'm going to put the 2 bolts in here. I'll mark them positive and negative. So when I get home, if this thing's low, all I got to do is hook up my little small battery charger, and we're good to go. Let me go get my drill. We'll get a couple holes drilled in it. We're going to drill our 2 holes. Alright, I got some bolts here I had laying around from another project. We're going to take our power wire, get our bolt on it, and our power off the battery. Stick it through there. But first thing we're going to do is put a washer on it. Missed the washer. Now, these are all stainless steel. They're stainless steel bolts, stainless steel washers. The nuts are stainless steel. And we'll get that in there. We'll put us another washer on it. The one thing I don't have are lock nuts. I had some stainless steel regular nuts, so that's just going to have to do for now. That on there, tighten it up. And that one ready to go to the switch. I just got to put an end on it. We get our ground wire. Get us another bolt. Washer. Another washer. And a nut. We'll get this one tightened up. And as you can see, I touched that terminal and there is juice in that terminal. Okay, we're going to put an end on our positive here. Crimp that. We're going to hook that to our switch. Reach down in there and plug it into our switch. Alright, that's on there. Then we got to make up a wire to go from there. And I'm hoping this one's long enough. If it ain't, I might have a little problem. I have to go find another piece of wire. But I think that'll work. That end on there, we're gonna hook this up to our switch. Reach down there and plug that in. We're gonna take the other wire. That wire may not be long enough. It might make it. We're gonna hook that to our USB port. Or finally, we're going to hook up the ground to the USB port. So, we have our battery hooked up. We have 2 terminals, positive and negative, to hook our charger up to. Our switch is hooked up. Our port is hooked up. You can see there's our port. We turn it on. There is an LED tells you how much juice is in the battery. Turn it off. We got supposedly a weatherproof cap that goes in it, but there's also clear in that cap so you can see it when it's not on, or when you turn it on and you got the cap on, you can still see how much voltage is in it. Next thing I'm going to do is put a little plus and minus on here, you know, to show which terminal is which. And it's about ready to go. The next step, what I need to do, build me a little bracket right here. I've got a crate in the back of my kayak, and I want to build little brackets so when I can put it up against the crate, just slide it down over the edge of the crate and it'll stay in place. But it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna get this stuff out of the rain for now, get these tools put away, and we'll come back and make the brackets for hooking it to the crate.